we're back. Let's sail the old ship one more time. Off we go, lads. I know of a tavern not far from here where you can get some mighty fine beer. Company's crew and the wenches are pretty, and greatest place in the whole damn city. You looking for runs and you'll and there, cutthroats and low lights, you'll find them there. And Nancy don't care who comes in her inn, and full of debauchery, violence and sin. 1, 2, 3, 4, so come take a drink and drown your sorrow, and all our fears will be gone till tomorrow. We'll have no regrets and live for the day in Nancy's Harbour Cafe. 2, 3, 4, if you're looking at bed and glorious guest, then there's no other treasure chest. For aces of 8 and tankards of ale, he'll show you the map and tell you the tale. Then you'll know old Nancy's our maid, and all her beauty ain't ending to fade. And Nancy don't care who comes in her inn, it's full of violence, debauchery and sin. 2, 3, 4, so come take it down and down your sorrows, and all our fear will be gone till tomorrow. And you know you'll have no regrets and down in Derby Cafe. So come take a drink and drown your sorrows, and all our fears will be gone till tomorrow. And every day and now for day and Nancy's Harbour Cafe. One more time, lads. 1, 2, 3, 4, so come take a drink and drown your sorrow, and all your fears will be gone till tomorrow. And have no regrets and live for the day in Nancy's Harbour Cafe. In Nancy's Harbour Cafe. Blackbeard rides again!
Aha, my hearties! Well done, thank you, Blackbeard, with the song Nancy the Tavern Wench, a brilliant song. Yeah, well done. It's time to learn more about the guests from the Black and Soul of the 1960s in the shape and form of a video.
"295 years ago lived a man, armed to the teeth with guns and cutlasses. This man would be remembered as the most fearsome pirate of all time. His enemies feared him, and so did his crew. Blackbeard is what he is known as, and Edward Teach is his name. His harsh methods included killing crew members if they did not work to a high enough standard. Not much is known about his early life. However, it is believed he was born somewhere in the time of 1680. Over time, he rose through the ranks and was most likely elected by the crew to lead as captain. When he raided ships of their loot, he would let the crew go, but if there was any resistance, even in the slightest way, they would all be killed or left on an island, presumably to starve to death. His ship was called the Queen Anne's Revenge. Originally a slave ship, he put 40 cannons on it and conquered the Caribbean waters with it. His reign of terror did not last long. He only ruled for 3 years, 1716 to 1780. He had killed so many of his crew that he had little defense to protect him. The British Navy defeated him in combat. However, his death was not sudden. When they recovered his body, they found 20 sword cuts and 4 gunshot wounds. They then chopped his head off and threw his body into the ocean. It is then said that his headless body swam around the ship 3 times before eventually becoming a lifeless corpse. Blackbeard's flag resembled a skeleton, holding an hourglass in one hand and what seemed to be a spear or sword in the other, poking it outwards towards a love heart, and 3 red dots positioned in a triangular formation. Hourglasses were more common than Jolly Rogers as symbols, as they represented a pirate's short life, because they simply did not last very long. Most pirates were executed before they could die of old age. Whatever your opinion on Blackbeard, he left a mark on all pirates, and carved the perception of pirates into a more sinister group of people, and is a man to be remembered. This video contained images from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Now let's get the man out himself, the one, the only Blackbeard, the terror of the seas. He will steal your meat and throttle your dog, and he won't give a quarter. But of course, yes, it's Mr. Teach or Mr. Blackbeard. Which one would you prefer? Nice round of applause for Mr. Blackbeard.
Mr. Teach was a long time ago, laddie.
Right.
A long time ago. And I never throttled a dog in my life. People? Oh, yes.
Right, so tell me the
Not
name
dogs.
Blackbeard then, Mr. Teach, or the name Blackbeard, where's it come from? Where's it derived from?
Something to do with my black beard, son.
That's what it's from.
Aye, it's a little shorter these days than it used to be, but I think it's a bit stylish. I was watching something on your television, because we have it down there, you know, and I saw a little bit of that George Michael lack. And I thought, now there's a strange looking lad, but I liked his beard.
Oh, he's a
I've
pirate,
been
but
trimming
not-
it down a little bit these days, yes.
Right, so you're actually spending time downstairs at the moment,
Aye,
aren't you?
with my good friend Al Capone.
You're actually one of the most feared pirates of the 17th century
I was,
and
aye.
18th century.
Aye.
Can you tell me how your reign began in 1716?
Pure greed, lad. Pure greed.
Pure greed,
Yes.
yeah.
Apart from the fact I like killing, I like blowing things up too. So I got myself one of them old slave ships, got myself 40 cannons, and I like the sound of one cannon blasting after the other, and especially hearing the howls of pain of other people as the cannonballs rip them apart.
So which seas did you
fun.
terrorise? Which
Pardon?
seas did you terrorise? Which part of the world? Which part of
Oh, all around the Caribbean, lad.
the Caribbean?
Aye, mainly
Ah.
because Caribbean is the finest looking women in the world. And you know, a pirate has needs, like any man. But you've got to know where the real women are.
Right.
Aye.
So, talking about Caribbean, what do you think of these modern day sort of film versions, your Pirates of your Caribbean, your Johnny Depps and all that
Oh,
sort of thing?
Johnny's just a nice Latin lad, isn't he? But he knows nothing about pirating. In fact, I heard he gets seasick when he goes on the Channel Seaferry. That stuff just not a pirate, is it? He makes a lot of money, though, doesn't he? And that's all it is. He's a namby-pamby, nice enough lad, but I wouldn't give him a spit on Johnny.
Yeah. So what type of things did you actually steal as such? What was the sort of cargo you used to aim for more than anything else?
Women.
Women. Anything else? Rum?
But there were very few women on them ships, sadly. So we took what we could. Gold, rum, and everything else I could. Especially pearls. And there were one feller, he had a great gold shiny jewel on his finger. And I just couldn't get the damn thing off him. So I did the next best thing. I cut his arm off. And funnily enough, I still couldn't get the damn thing off his finger. So what I've had to do is bring it with me all these years, and it's still here now. And it's a bit of an old thing now. It smells a bit, but see, lads, you want to try and get it off?
No, it's all right, I'll
No,
give
see,
up on
it
that.
won't come off, will it? No, it won't come off.
No,
see?
I think you're quite
And
right. Hey,
He's,
it's
he's
warm
hanging
weather.
on to it. Watch it now. Anyway, I got to give him an hand. It was, he obviously deserved it if it won't come off.
So you
It's
took
mine.
that down with you. This is from the 17th century, is it? The 18th
Aye, lad, aye.
century? Aye, aye.
Yeah, and I kept it down there, aye. Yeah.
So how many vessels in all do you think you attacked between those years of 1716 and 1718?
Oh, I'd say about, I was never good at counting, I have to say. I ain't got no 1, 2, 1, 2.
Numeracy not one of your strong points, Mr. Blackbeard.
Well, it were more than one.
We're more than one.
Yeah, let's say that. Aye.
Right,
Right.
so your demise then, obviously in 1718, what happened there? Okay. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to talk to you a little bit more about that later on, about
Aye,
your
now.
demise, yeah. We won't talk about that
About
at the
me
moment.
dying.
Yeah, something like that, yes. Anyway, what we're going to do, we'll speak to you later. Thank you, Mr. Beard. We'll be back to you very shortly. Now it's time to catch up with the ED News and Matt.
Hello, welcome, and yes, welcome to Ed News. So, we're going to be talking about Blackbeard, and when he was at his prime as captain, he chopped my arm off. Anyway, over to you, Alfred.
Hello, I am here in April 1717, hovering over the sea from when and where, just a few hours ago, Black Sam Bellamy crashed his ship, the Wider. Born in Devonshire, Sam Bellamy became a pirate because the pay of a sailor was simply not good enough to support him. His girlfriend Parrot said he wasn't rich enough to be a good partner. He had captured over 50 ships before the age of 29. The ship he was currently sailing, however, was a slave ship called Wider. It was £20,000 sterling, the fortune. Sorry. Can we go again? Right, I'll slow down this time. Hello, I am here in April 1717, hovering over the sea from when and where, just a few hours ago, Black Sam Bellamy crashed his ship, the Wider. Born in Devonshire, Sam Bellamy became a pirate because of the pay of a sailor was simply not good enough to support him. His girlfriend Perez said he wasn't rich enough to be a good partner. He had captured over 50 ships before the age of 29. The ship he was currently sailing, however, was a slave ship called Wider. On it was £20,000 sterling, the fortune of the slave traders. He allegedly said, "Lads, we've gotten enough." Presumably, this meant he would leave pirating for good after this last voyage. Alas, today, a few hours ago, the sea were too rough for him and the ship to cope, and 143 pirates died on board the ship. There were only 2 survivors. But they have gone now. They said they needed a big jug of mead and refused to be interviewed by us. A shame that £20,000 have been lost into the sea. That will surely affect the economy of these harsh times. We asked Black Sam's love, Maria Hallett of Eastland, how she felt about this. She said, "Although I do not like to admit my love is to a pirate, the Navy does not give enough money for any man to live happily." Such a shame that it has to come to this. I've been Alfred King, and this is Time to All News. Back to you in the studio.
Very interesting there. So, Black Bellamy is now dead. What a way to go. Anyway, also in the news of 1600, Bishop Benjamin Horderly stated that God favours churches with no government, and that the Netherlands and France and Britain have formed a triple alliance. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much for that, and welcome back to the studio of Time. If you just tuned in, we're interviewing Blackbeard, so my hearties. Yes. It's not good for the throat, unfortunately. Right, well, we're back with Mr. Beard then. Yeah, your death then. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and the infamous head going around the ship 3 times?
No, it wasn't the head, lad, no.
Go on, tell us more about it.
It was the rest of me.
Tell us more about it
else
then.
at the time.
Right, tell us somewhere
Well,
else.
they say he swam around 3 times, my headless body, you see, which ain't true. It was actually 5 times. And I just thought there's only one way to go out, and it's like a fish, because I spent most of my life eating fish, so we kept on doing that. And I sank slowly after that into the depths. And slowly into the depths of hell, lad.
And that's where you reside at the moment, the depths
Aye,
of
there's
hell.
no finer place than hell. Whatever they say about heaven, it's a boring place.
So you're down there with a few kings and a few monarchs and things
Oh,
as
yes.
well, yes?
Oh,
And
yes.
you'd like to mention our
Julius
name?
Caesar, he's down there, he's a
Is
man.
he?
Napoleon, but we have a little bit of a disagreement on the count. We both got an eye patch.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't
Nelson,
like
where's he gone? Is he upstairs?
that. Nelson, he was a Nancy boy too. He was an all right, you know, he's up there with the lads, you know. I mean, kiss me hardy. What can I say?
Exactly.
I
Anyway,
wouldn't have said that when I was dying, no. History books that.
you've actually brought some things with you today to show us. You've got somebody sat behind you there. Is it
Ah,
something
well,
to do with you? I don't know whether...
That's actually my headless corpse, you see.
Is that-
That's what we're left when this swam round the boat 5 times. So I kept that. I am just an spiritual embodiment of plasma.
That's interesting.
No.
And something down at the right-hand side of you there, what you've
Oh,
brought.
I
to show
never
us
go
today.
nowhere without this. The
Who's this?
fine song we're singing, Nancy.
Is that her?
I can't go nowhere without Nancy. No.
Oh.
Nancy's with me everywhere we go.
She does look a bit pale.
Ah, well, it's on account of her being dead, lad.
Well, there you go. That's
Aye,
probably lots to
Nancy.
do with it. Aye.
I love Nancy.
And your treasure chest. What sort of glories are hidden inside
Well,
the
that's the
treasure chest?
£20,000 that you
Ah,
were
that's the
tale about
20K,
going
is it?
down. I never went down to sea, lad. I kept that with me. I made sure I got it. All the ship went down and everybody went down, but not me treasure.
Right, so can you tell us about some of your colleagues then on the ship? You know, what was the most famous ship you sailed on? Have you got any ideas what that was called?
I've got a very bad memory about that. I remember, I think it was the Blackbeard or, Black Pearl, but it's a long time ago. I think it's like 400 years I've been dead, ain't we, son?
Yeah, you've definitely been dead over. Well, yeah,
Just
it's
put
coming.
Nancy back down here.
Right.
She gets shy on television.
We've actually got a picture up there of your beard. I used to plait your beard. What was the reasoning behind that, to actually
I used to
entwine the
put
beard?
gunpowder in beard when it was longer, and that would just so it would frighten people when I was attacking them. And they'd be so shocked, it was easy to stick a sword in them like that, lads. Like that.
Surely that was a bit dangerous, though, if you were
Aye.
smoking.
And do you
and
think I
things.
lost me eye?
Aye, blew
And
your
I'd
eye
never
out,
do
did
it again, I have to say. You can't lose one eye and expect to lose another.
So can you explain the flag as well, the hourglass on the flag? And we had a little bit in
Short
the
life,
VT.
lad. Short life. You're not listening to
Yes,
the
I was
young lad.
listening. I want you to
noticed there
explain,
that
yeah.
young man was called Alfred King. What
King
fine
Alfred.
name, eh? King Alfred, aye. Well, he's got shipmate of mine many years ago, he was. Yeah.
So,
Had to
what-
shoot him, though.
So what are you actually doing with yourself down in hell?
What am I doing
Well,
in hell?
I'm afraid we're going to stop you there because we're not that interested, but never mind.
I beg your
Thank
pardon,
you,
young son. Not that
Thank you,
interested in
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
We're coming back to spend more time with you sometime. And thanks for coming back to the past anyway.
Aye,
and
you're losing your words now, eh?
I'm
You're
losing my
using
words.
my
But I'll
numbers.
tell you what I want you to do, some badass pirating when you're down in hell. Thanks for coming up from the past and going through all the 1700s and such and such.
You're welcome.
But anyway, thanks once again. But to play us out, we're going to have our wonderful guest, Mr. Blackbeard, and his wonderful group. They're going to do another rendition of the great track there, Nancy. He's got her with us somewhere down here. And we'll see you all again very soon. I've been Graham Wolstenholme. It's time for one more performance of the Tavern Wench that is otherwise known as Nancy. Thank you. Take it away.
Aye, you did a fine job there of padding out that little bit of script there while I walked round the back, didn't you, lad? Well done, well done. Aye, right, are we ready? Lads, are we ready? Let's go one more time. Let's ride! 26, 7, 8. I know of a tavern not far from here where you can get some mighty fine beer, and company's true. The wenches are pretty, and are the greatest place down the city. If you're looking for crewmates, you find them there. In Creditors and Lord, and guys should dare. And Nancy don't care who comes in or in. It's a den of debauchery, violence and sin. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So come take a drink and drown your sorrows, and all your fears will be gone tomorrow. We'll have no regrets and live for the day in Nancy's Harbour Cafe. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're looking for glorious days, there's a man who knows in the old treasure chest. And somebody surveyed and doors of veil and show to tell and tell you the tale. And then the devil and Nancy don't fade, and all the beauty is starting to fade. And Nancy don't care who comes in or in, and all the violence and dangers and sin. 2, 3, 4. So come take a drink and drown your sorrow, and all our fears will be gone tomorrow. We'll take no regrets and live for the day in Nancy's Harbour Cafe. 2, 3, 4. So come take a drink and drown your sorrows, and all the drinks will be gone for tomorrow. And all regrets and live for the day in Nancy's Harbour Cafe. Shall we do it one more time, lads? Aye. 1, 2, 3, 4. So come take a drink and drown your sorrows, and all our fears will be gone till tomorrow. And their regrets and live for the day in Nancy's Harbour Cafe. In Nancy's Harbour Cafe, here's to Nancy! Ha ha! Scotland my timbers.